Namaste. Last class we talked about body preparedness, and before that we had talked about how creativity needs to be seen in the Adavus stage itself, and it's not always possible to reach a certain choreography and then think as to what is the innovation you would do. So I thought it would be a good exercise to take a few Adavus and revisit them and see how we can create newer looking patterns out of them, and then later when we use it somewhere we can see the coordination as to how this workshopping helps in order to use it in a specific place. So we'll take the first basic tate teta, which is what everybody learns. So just let's do it once, the basic tate teta, which is done in different schools in different ways. That doesn't matter. Let's do this one first, and then this is also done in some schools. So we just do that as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei. Continue. Ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta. Now the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, and ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta. Now this is, well, the basic kind of tate teta. When I started, I thought the first thing I did, I remember in trying to re-look this, is when there was a particular jati where it was a very lasya kind of bowl, you know, very nice bowl. So it needed something a little softer. So, you know, I did that one. So let's try out that. So you do this, and then in continuation one needs to stretch it to the side. So ta tei tei ta, dit tei tei ta, ta tei tei ta, dit tei tei ta. It gives a more very graceful kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta. Neck and eyes, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, and ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei. Faster. Ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta. Now, even as we were doing it, I got an idea that you had kept your elbow straight and done it. She had actually made it into a diagonal and done it. Visually both were very different. Now try the diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta. Don't push the shoulder back, only the hand. Tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, only the direction of the body. Tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei, tei, ta, ta, tei, tei, ta, de, tei. So you see, as you're workshopping, as you're seeing, you get an idea, and how the complexion of the same thing, as you did this, and as you did this, it changes completely. In a group, for example, the diagonal looks beautiful. You know, because in groups, the directions of what you do becomes very, very important. The body geometry, how you use space, and where everybody is looking, where everybody, it's a completely different approach from the solo. So for that, just as you were doing now, we got an idea. Now, Tate Teta is a very basic. Chatusram is something that's used, you know, to fill in, to do a lot of things. So sometimes what happens is, as you're doing something, you need to go back. You know, positioning, forward back movement, side movement, all that also is very important when you choreograph. You sometimes do only the kanaka, you see only the mathematics and you keep filling it. You realize aage hi aage ja raha hai. Everything is going ahead. You know, you need to also reseed. So when that point came, I was trying to do something, and this Adavu, you know, this, of course it's a traditional Adavu, but looks very beautiful in Tate Teta. As you do it, you go back. So not to be forgotten. It's a very nice traditional Adavu, but nice Adavu. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai. Don't turn beforehand. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta. Now do the front one. Ta, tai, come forward. De, tai, go back. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, side. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai. You see how you are now creating a pattern straight away there, you know, by linking one to the other. So Chatusram is an interesting thing where you can do a lot of things. Other is the circular. Ta, isi ka piche nahi le jaake, take it up, bring it down, take it up, bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta. Now the look has to be very specific. For example, this is not looking very nice. So follow the hand and then look straight. Ta, tai, tai, ta. Ta, this doesn't look, many people have different kinds of jaw lines, different kinds of, so you know, doing this is sometimes looks, some people do too much of it, looks odd. So follow the hand and then finish straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, whatever, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, 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 de, tai, tai, ta. So either you use this or you use this, whatever you do, and you can even start with this. Ta, tai, tai, ta, di, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, di, tai, tai, ta. Depends on what is before, what is after. Supposing you are finishing an Adavu like this. You are finishing an Adavu like this, then ta, tai, tai, ta. You have to always connect from what is before and what is coming after. So you have to see. That is very important. You can't independently say, this is a nice Adavu, let me just fit it in here. It can't happen. You know? So we need to think as to how we can. And the other one is this, which we have, which we do for Takita. Many times now what is happening is the hand of one particular Adavu and the leg we do of another Adavu, because again it's the linearity of the style that you need to show, and so you feel sometimes that a little movement helps to the side. Supposing you want a movement to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, straight. straight is better. Tai, ta, de, tai, straight. Tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai. We can change the direction also. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta. Good. Tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta. So you see, as you're doing it itself, you're getting ideas. This is how you kind of evolve. This always, you know, you will have to work out a dictionary for your own self as to how many varieties you can do in even a ta, tai, tai, ta with one hand up. This is also a nice ta, tai, tai, ta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, 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 ta. See, this works very nice for fast. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, and gives a lot of movement, and yet you can also occupy space. Some of the ta, tai, tai, you can't do very fast. For example, this, it becomes a bit of a fumbling kind of exercise. It looks as though you're battling, because it's a full shoulder movement. Can't do it. So this, as Sneha, just do what you did just now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, 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 ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta. And then another way I had used this ta, tai, ta is, before you start a tirmanam or a finishing tihai, you have a chadusram normally which you do as a link, you know, and in that you just don't want to do a very because you need to also conserve energy before you do a full tirmanam which is coming. So you need something to mark. It's like a punctuation before you go into the tihai after the korappu in the jati. So just a circling, then coming in a specific place where you want to start the tirmanam, you know. So you just mark that place. So we just do a ta, tai, ta like this, which is more of a movement adavu, and then you mark it in a place and then start the tihai. So it looks beautiful, and you've covered the stage, and you've reached the point where you want to start the tirmanam unobtrusively, not very, you know, obviously कि भाई हाथ बांध के चल दिए kind of thing, you know, कि अब वहाँ जब पहुँचना है तो वहाँ. So this makes a, normally you used to do this adavu for that, you know, an usi adavu for that, but this also creates a pattern in ta, tai, ta. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, 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 ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, 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 ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta. So you see, it gives movement, because also today you're moving to large spaces, and when you have large spaces, what happens is that a very stark tat, tai, ta, ha works. So so many ta, tai, tas have given you ideas in terms of broadening, you know, the way you look at ta, tai, ta, because ta, tai, ta is such a basic adavu. Everybody, even a little kid is able to do ta, tai, ta. So I want you all now as an exercise to think how else can you do the ta, tai, ta. These are of course things that let's recap now. First you did was the front one, isn't it? Then what did you do? That is the traditional one. After that you did this one. Then you did the back one. Then you did the side one. then this side one, yeah, this one, then the movement one. So let's one each, let us do first. 1, 2, no, all of you do one time each of all that you've done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, front, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai. Now diagonal. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, diagonal. Ta, tai, tai, ta, back. Tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, side, de, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai. Yeah, tendency to do takita in this. Tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, tai, tai, ta. The other side. Ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, 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 ta. Okay. Sneha, so can you think of each of you can add one more to this basket of tate tetas. Think about it, how you could, in a sense, you know, any of you has any idea?
Like we use the takita adavu, the takita usual hand for this. Can we do the takita also in this?
Yes, let's try out that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, 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 ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta. Nice. Any of you wants to try out something else? Think of something else that you would like to do for tate teta. Yes, try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta. You know, you can even go to the same side. If it's becoming a little difficult to change, let's see, do the same side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, same hand, same leg. De, tai, tai, ta, ta. See, the flow is there. The other one is breaking the flow. So, if you want to do 4 times, even if you do the same side, it doesn't really matter. You know, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai. The recovery also has to be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta. Amrita, you want to try?
The side that we do.
Huh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta, 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 ta, tai, tai, ta, de, tai, tai, ta. So you saw how
And this has a lot of potential for turns.
turns, you can do it with angles. So a whole thing of tate teta, how many varieties you got, you know. So this is how one moves and one tries out all kinds of things with the body and then sees that how it can be in a sense linked wherever it has to be linked, But this is basically to understand your own, revisiting the Adavus and seeing what are the possibilities. You have to first explore the possibilities before you can even attempt to assimilate that in the work. So we'll try out one more in the next segment, in the next class, other Adavus and their possibilities.
Thank you.
Thank you.